Florida area. Give us a call at 561-967-6500. From our experienced physicians to the most advanced treatment options to our state-of-the-art facilities and excellent support staff, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County is committed to providing you with the very best care. Call us at 561-967-6500 or find us at www.ocpbc.com.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Know your body, gain control of your health, transform your life. If your body could talk, what would it tell you? At DexaFit, we show you how to take control of your health and fitness to live a happier, more fulfilling life. Hormones, metabolic health, and cardio fitness all play a significant role in your energy levels, sleep quality, and overall well-being. With our proven methods of measure, track, and discover, we show you how your body composition, cardio fitness, and metabolic health compare to your optimal level. At DexaFit, our goal is to help you identify and understand the health and fitness of how to transform your body to meet your individual goals, break through your plateaus, and take the guesswork out. Improve your energy levels, sleep, and weight. Give us a call at 561-923-8833. We are conveniently located at 2499 Glades Road in Boca Raton. Schedule an appointment online at DexaFit.com. Give us a call, 561-923-8833, and mention this ad for special pricing.
If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, tune in to the Dr. Bob Martin Show. From erectile dysfunction to eczema, heartburn to headaches, carpal tunnel to how to lower cholesterol drug-free. Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
Elections are now over. Come January, we will have a Republican Senate and a Republican president. This could cause extreme volatility in the markets, and the question you need to ask yourself is, are your retirement accounts protected? If you have money in the markets, it's crucial you know how to protect your portfolios from market crashes, and at Online Trading Academy, we can teach you how to do that. We've been around nearly 20 years and can teach you how to protect your money in the markets through using options, exchange-traded funds, and wealth management strategies. If you want to learn more how to do this, give us a call right now and you'll receive 2 passes for both you and a guest for a free half-day wealth management class. 954-668-2443. 954-668-2443. You need to learn this before the markets crash. 954-668-2443. 954-668-2443.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you have enough light in your life? Are you soaring in the joy around you? Are you stuck and unable to make life happen? Stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show, where you will learn how to bask in the light and find more joy and meaning in life. Call to talk to Rabbi Jenny at 888-565-1470 and email questions and comments at rabbijenny.com. And now, if you're ready, stay tuned for the Rabbi who will light your world on fire, Rabbi Jenny.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. It's Rabbi Jenny. I'm so happy to be here with you today on the Rabbi Jenny Show. We are thrilled. We want to remind you that we are live on Facebook. We are also on Periscope, and you can check us out on 95.3 and 95.3 FM and 1470 AM on radio. And you can also download the iHeart app. Is that it? iHeart app. And you can listen to us all over the country, world, whatever. And I'm so excited for our show today. But before we begin, we want to remind you of the 2 main ideas. And there are 2 main ideas for the Rabbi Jenny Show, and that is all the time, all the time, all the time. And if it's your first time watching or listening to this show, I want you to take these 2 ideas into your heart, and I want you to feel the love from me to you, that these 2 ideas can shift the paradigm of your whole life. They can take every experience that you have in your whole life and change the way you look at it. And I've actually recently seen that in my own life 3 or 4 times. The first main idea of the Rabbi Jenny Show is 100% true. The world is happening for you and not to you. And that is all the time. It is happening for you and not to you. It may feel like it's not. It may seem like it's not. But it is happening for you and not to you because of the second idea. And the second idea is this, that you are divine love light energy and you are always growing and you are always expanding into more love and light. So whatever has come in, no matter how messy it is coming in to teach you to expand, to teach you to grow, and to show you who you truly are. And I have to say, listeners, I was thinking about the topic tonight, and I was thinking about the show, and sometimes I've read so many teachers, and I've taken so many classes and so many workshops, and so many people have said so many brilliant, wonderful things, and I was thinking, what could I say today that would shift somebody's life or change the way they are or have them chase their destiny, which we're going to be talking about. And I didn't have any, and that's the truth. And I said, I really, I didn't have any words better than words that have been said before. And that's the truth. But I can tell you that the love that I feel that's in the world and the grace that I feel that surrounds all of us every day, that makes the impossible possible, the moment you turn toward it and you go against the stories of your past and work towards retelling a new story for your future, which is what we're going to be talking about, you can get your destiny. You can achieve amazing things. Michael Beckwith, who's one of my favorites, the Reverend Michael Beckwith, said that the world responds to the nature of your song. And I just, that's what we're going to talk about today, sorta. We're actually talking about Jacob, because we're in Torah, and it's the Rabbi Jenny Show. I'd love to make it about something else, but it's not. It's about Torah. And we're right in the middle of the story of Jacob. We talked about Jacob and Esau last week, and this week we're actually talking about a really crucial point in Scripture. There are lots of moments like this in other scriptures. As we talk about on the show, the Torah is a code, and a very common thing that happens in stories, mythology, and in Scripture, in these stories, names change. And in Jacob's story, we know the story of Jacob. He was born, he's the smaller of 2 twins, Esau and Jacob. And he is named Jacob because his big, hairy, strong, perfect brother Esau comes out first. And Jacob, little Jacob, comes out second, holding his brother's heel. And so his mother names him Heel. That's kind of poopy, right? He's a heel. So his entire early life, he spends being the little baby who held his brother's heel. And his mother sort of gets lost in that story. His mother convinces him out of, I believe, fear for her smaller son's future to steal his brother's birthright from his father, Isaac. And he does. He steals his brother's birthright. And he answers fear and commits this big lie and takes his brother's birthright. And later on, we know Jacob wanders, and his brother Esau, whose birthright he stole, is ready to get him. And he knows his brother's ready to get him. And as a crisis of conscience that so many of us have had, he has that moment. He has that very definitive bottom, I would call it, in his life, where he has to face his darkness and face his shadow and move forward or just disappear. And he does. He wrestles with an angel. Jacob wrestles with an angel, knowing that his brother Esau is going to come get him. And he's like, I gotta face it. I gotta face my crisis of conscience. I gotta face this angel, and I gotta fight for who I really am. I am not the holder of a heel. There is more to me. There is more to the man that's inside of me. And of course we know this because he wrestles with the angel, and he wakes up and he becomes, Israel, the father of all nations. His name changes to one who wrestles with the divine from a heel. And we find out his capacity for fire, his capacity for struggle, his capacity for his humanity, and his ability to find compassion for others, which makes him have 12 sons and daughters and father all of our nations. So what's the message in that? We have to stop defining ourselves by the past, and we have to stop defining ourselves by what others think simply by what they see. Immediately, in one snapshot, one moment, Jacob held the heel of his brother and held that identity until he wrestled with angels. He allowed that identity, the words of his mother, the name he was given, steer him in making decisions. And we need to stop doing that. That's what the topic is today on the show, that you are going to rewrite your own story and you're going to embrace your destiny. That is the most important power that you have, is the ability to do that. How often in life do we not even realize that we don't even question the way we're acting, the way we're dressing, the way we're thinking, because they're the actual stories that we've been told about ourselves. So one of the challenges we have in the opening segment of the Rabbi Jenny Show is I want you to think about everything going on in your life today. And I want you to think about everything you think about yourself today. And I want you to think about how many of those things came from you. Because I guarantee you, some of those limiting beliefs come from stories that you were told about yourself at a time that you can't even remember. And that it's time to start looking at who you are. It's time to go deep, face your shadows, face your nuances, and see the beauty of who you truly, truly are. And it's a challenge, but I am telling you, the universe will meet you halfway, because you were not created to be someone else's version. You are not here to write anyone else's story. You are here to write your own. I was talking to a friend of mine. I'm very blessed with such amazing clergy friends. And I was on the phone with my friend, Patricia Masterman. She's a Lakota Cherokee, I don't know, she's a native healer. And she's also a deacon in the Episcopal Church over in Albuquerque. And she was telling me, we were talking about all these renaming stories in scripture that are not from the Torah. They're actually, one of them she was telling me was about Saul and Paul. And I'm saying this to you because I never want you to limit the message of what we talk about on the Rabbi Jenny Show to, well, I don't study Torah, Jenny. I wasn't raised Jewish, Jenny. How can I use this to come into my life? Well, let me tell you, these archetypes, these stories, these mythologies, they run through every faith. So we were talking about the story of Saul and Paul, and that's a very famous Christian story of when Saul becomes Paul, because he is working for the Romans and he's walking in, and the Lord appears to him, and he appears to him and says, "Why are you doing this?" Just like the angel appeared to Jacob, "Why did you do this?" I mean, it's pretty much the same story. I don't want to point it out, but it is. And then after that, he changes his name. Because when we change our name, it's like we're saying to the world, who do I want to be? Do I want to be that person I was yesterday, or do I want to be that person who I was today? So that's one. Now, the Native American culture, they call you by your purpose. And so your purpose can actually change throughout your life. And when I was working with a Native American elder, and I was working on getting my voice back, which allowed me to even do something like this in the first place because I was terrified, the idea was to take on the name of an animal. And you take on the name of that animal, and it's like you're telling the universe that I'm ready to do and sing and say everything. And so what the name that came was the skylark, because that's a very loud, annoying singing bird. It floods the streets of London, supposedly, and it flies all the way high as fast as it can, and it sings only when it's flying high. And so the idea was to take on that archetype. So maybe that's something that we can have you do today. Rewrite your name through the story of an animal that you need power from. And we do that at my work. We do that. Though that's the Native culture. We also have a female story from Scripture, which isn't quite about renaming, but it is a story I learned today. And I love to learn new things. And that's a big thing on retelling your story and rewriting or continuing to write your story, is to allow yourself to evolve, to allow yourself to become Yisrael, to allow yourself to change and become more forgiving, more compassionate, and less confined by the past, right? So I learned this story today about Mary and Elizabeth. And this is such a cool story, and I hope I have time to tell you. But this is a story from looking at your life and things that happen in your life from different angles, because that can be part of this too. Mary is the mother of Jesus, and she gets, according to the story, the angels come and they tap her belly, and she's got a baby in there, and she's little. She's 15, and she's got a baby. Oh my God, I have a baby, and nobody's going to understand her because nobody's going to believe this. I just have this baby in my belly, and there's been no man, there's been no nothing. This is like some sort of miracle, and who am I going to talk to? Right? Well, Mary goes and talks to her cousin Elizabeth, who's married to Zechariah, who was actually way older and had John the Baptist in her belly. John the Baptist was 6 months old in Mary and Elizabeth's belly, and Elizabeth didn't think she could have children at all. And so you see this conversation that's going on between two different women in almost not the same situation, but in a situation where they could view each other in very different ways. You know, how was Elizabeth going to do it? Was she going to be jealous of Mary? Was she going to be wise and guide her and lead her in her future? How was she going to define herself as the barren woman who waited forever for John the Baptist, the madman who runs in the woods? Or was she going to say, wow, I really understand the value of giving birth and creating something beautiful? And how can it be that my cousin, my 15-year-old cousin, has a life in her that brings me to tears? If she would have defined herself from the past, she wouldn't have been able to do that, you know? And so when you define yourself from your past, and I see this every day working in the field of substance abuse and addiction and working with victims of trauma and working with people who have constantly allowed themselves to be defined by their past, actually use their past to stay in the past, as insane as that is, you know? And I guess we're going to talk about more than that. So stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show. We have an exciting guest. We're talking about rewriting your story, embracing your destiny, and we have a Tom, Dick, and Harry next. Bye-bye. Stay tuned. Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from the Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net. You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Rabbi Jenny. We are back with the Rabbi Jenny Show, and we are talking about rewriting your own story and embracing your destiny. We're talking about Jacob becoming Israel and really becoming the father of all nations, and the idea that we tell the stories told to us about ourselves for most of our life, and we don't even question them. And I can tell you one experience before we introduce our guest from my life is that I went to Disney World when I was like 5 years old. Okay, and supposedly when I went to Disney World, because Disney World, I don't remember it, but supposedly I was terrified of the giant crocodile 100 Leagues Under the Sea thing. And this is a story that permeated every aspect of my family about how terrified I was, you know. And I think I just felt terrified, like scaredy cat, you know. And I allowed that to define me. You know, and we got to just look at some of that stuff and dig it up and throw it out, you know, and throw it out, because the reality is not scared of much, not even a little. Okay, so it's time for our Tom, Dick, or Harry.
You're telling me Rabbi Jenny will talk to any Tom or Dick or Harry? Any Tom, any Dick, any Harry.
Sorry, in the studio with me, Greggy. We are here with one of my favorite Tom, Dick, or Harrys, a friend, a co-creator, I think, on this planet, my friend Gregory Goins. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Gregory Goins is the co-founder of Epiphany Resources, the substance abuse treatment center where I work as the executive director. And we have, in 1 year, because you were on the show last year.
About the same time.
Yeah, it was like a little bit earlier because I hadn't signed on yet, you know. It was a couple months ago. But we have really built, I'm going to say it, the best treatment program on the planet, which is what we said we were going to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we set out to do.
And we have like fought it out, like totally, you know, and really, I think, especially with you and I, have had to challenge our own ideas about working with people, you know, working with men and women and leadership. And I didn't think it was going to be this fast. Did you? Not
at all. You couldn't have drawn this up on a chalkboard with a protractor and told me that this is the way this was going to shake out. I think that the work, you know, that you've done in the clinical staff there has been absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
In the creation of something that I think is new and unique and fresh and a really important take on this war on drugs.
Yeah, and just this whole idea that I know you and I both did this. Like, we both rewrote the story of our own life from this disease. And why don't you give the listeners a little bit of background on you and how retelling your story, because Greg's also a filmmaker, and we have a filmmaking track in our treatment center at Epiphany Resources, which is amazing. Tell the listeners about your story, retell that to them, and filmmaking and how it helped you.
Well, I was a stockbroker at 18. I got a call from one of my clients who told me that this internet thing was really going to take off. So I know I'm dating myself right now. And so I started work for an internet service provider. I did that for a number of years. I went from that into the beginnings of voice over IP. I owned my own telephone company. I lost 4 of my best friends in 2001 in the 9/11 bombing. I instantly went back to drugs and alcohol, spiraled downward, was homeless on the streets in South Florida. My mother tells me, don't tell everybody you were homeless. You were homeless by choice.
Homeless is cool. You know, when you get out of it, it's really cool. You suffered.
So I was homeless for a time and got in trouble, you know, with the law and found my way out of that. Got sober, went back to school, completed 2 master's degrees in film, came back to South Florida to help some people out who saved my life. And from there we started Epiphany.
Yeah.
And wanted to do something really different because I believed that for the longest time that I was playing the anti-hero of my own story.
Yeah.
And it's not until I got clean and sober that I realized that I could be the hero of my own story. And I thought that if that was true for me, it's got to be true for some other people. And so
it was really weird. Like, when I think back to it, like I was telling somebody about it. Like, it's such a great story about what I was talking about in the first segment, that the universe will meet you where you are. Right. Because when a friend of ours introduced me to you and Mike, who's the co-founder of Epiphany, it was like meeting, like it was like two groups of people who had been talking the same thing, and then when we met, like I walked into your office and there were all these superheroes everywhere, and I still have, it's so silly, but I still have that post-it presentation in my trunk of my car. It sits in the trunk.
It was a really good presentation.
It was really
I would have kept it too.
And they you guys, the thing about it was we're doing almost everything in it.
Yeah.
The guys and women that come to, the ladies and gentlemen, because that's what they do become when they leave Epiphany, that come to us for help at Epiphany Resources really go to school. Yep. I mean, it's bigger than a substance abuse treatment center, I think. I mean, it is a school. Yep. It is a way of life that we try to give them, so the day that they leave, they have a way of life that they can continue.
Right. They have a way of living, that they're not accustomed to. And you see it when in later stages of the program, how they react to someone who's coming in that's new. That's sort of, I tell them always, like, listen, it's not a thank you, because it's not like something and we're done. It's like, you got to go do this for someone else, right? There's more work to be done, and how often they just glom onto that. They're really energized by that sort of, I can actually teach somebody how to do something,
Well, and it's that culture. Like, one of the things that I've really loved is watching the culture take hold, and watching, like, the group of guys I was with this morning that are now some of them more with you than with me in that later stage of treatment, because, men stay with men, women stay with women. But watching them all speak the same language and know that they've been through the same valuable things, and martial arts and yoga, meditation, deep therapy, EMDR, and creativity. Like, one of the things that we really did was how to teach people how to tell a news story. Yeah. So I want to talk to you, though. I want to talk to Greg. I haven't talked to you in, like, I think it's been a while.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to talk to you about an area of your life that you've had the most difficulty retelling. Because I think we all have different parts of our life that are, okay, I can retell that. But where do you think you struggle the most to rewrite yourself, like pieces of yourself?
I still struggle with interpersonal relationships. I'm still, like, I'm painfully shy person. And I try to come out of that. And I know that's a necessary thing. But being a writer doesn't help at all. It's like being in the casino. It's just like you sit with a book and a pen kind of thing. So that doesn't help at all. But I really try to be the outgoing kind of person, but I keep a really close circle of friends. It's really hard for me to, like, do things like that. And I think that some of it is protectionist. I think a lot of it is protectionist. But my life has become so fulfilled by the friends that I actually do have.
Yeah.
That I don't know that I'd miss it if I had, like, 100 friends or something.
Yeah.
I have very close confidence that I tell stuff to. I relate to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not about the secrets that we keep kind of thing. It's just people that I vibe with, and I might not talk to them for a couple of months, but when we get together, we have a blast as if we just got off the phone with each other. I don't know that I've ever known that before getting sober, and it's something that I know that I'm working on. And so,
well, your dad was a preacher.
My dad was a minister,
and he's an outgoing guy.
Oh yeah,
could talk.
My dad could talk about World Cup or world politics. It didn't matter. Yeah, he could go just in between phases that way. It's just a gift.
Yeah.
Really smart guy. Probably the smartest guy I ever met.
Wow.
I wanted to be my dad. I mean, other people talk about Michael Jordan as their hero. I was like, I didn't understand. My dad was the man, period. And I tried to do that.
Right.
I know some of it's in there genetically. I'm just waiting for it to blossom, I guess.
Right. Well, I've seen you. I've seen you. You just gotta get a little upset.
That's it. That I'm readily in touch with. That's that part. Yeah.
The fire's there. So, it's like those stories and getting to the root of that for the listeners. What's that story that, about what a strong male person is or female person is like, the story is that they have to be this certain way. But I guess retelling it is like being able to look at your own strengths in communication.
Yeah.
Because I think intimacy and vulnerability is much harder, at least for me, than standing in front of a group of people. That's that's like, whatever. That's like the back. That's like,
That's
but
the easy part.
right. But letting somebody like in is a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's that new story you think? What do you think the title of that would be?
Oof.
Come on, writer.
Yeah. Let's come up with something. Good call. Stumped.
I like doing that.
It is that thing, though, right? It is.
Yeah.
It is. There's freedom in it, though, right?
Yeah.
Because once I know that when I was addicted, that I wasn't comfortable with self, and once I became recovered and been through some steps and helped some guys through the steps, and I became comfortable with me, there's a huge amount of freedom in it because I realize exactly where the edge is. I know what it is that I'm incapable of doing.
Right.
But by knowing that, the rest of the universe opens up.
Right. Yeah.
And now you have now it's the trouble with, having a million different choices. What do you choose? Who do you choose to become?
Right.
I chose to become a filmmaker because I realized that when other kids were playing baseball, I was always in the movie theater. Like I would I saw Star Wars in the theater 76 times. Like who does that?
A passionate person.
Yeah, someone who has a passion. I love to hear stories told on the screen. And I didn't realize that until I was in touch with myself enough to say, okay, that's a piece of me that I can deal with and I can sort of work through. But it's as a result of working on being a recovered person that I was able to understand and sort of exploit that, I guess is the best way for me to put it, or work towards something. You come up with I don't know that you ever move past some sort of stereotype, for lack of a better way to put it. It's just a model, and you want to be that model. Hopefully you're making good, positive choices in doing that, because I know for a long time I was not able to do that. And you try stuff on. I tell people often that my God is a Franken God. It's some of this and some of that, and when those things work, it really clicks. And if they don't work, I'm open enough to reject those ideas and take on some new ones. I don't know that I'm any different with the Greg that sits before you now. It's like some of those things work, and when they didn't work, I was able to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, it's just interesting how we, it's like we take the literal, like the heel that Jacob was holding. That's a literal, two-dimensional thing. And then that's what he was named. And so it's like we would look at like pastor, like Dad's a pastor, I'm a filmmaker. Those are two different things. But when you listen to the love and the passion, it's the same.
Right.
So maybe that might be the new story.
Yeah.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
we'll be right back. We're going to chew on that, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. This is Rabbi Jenny, Greg Owens, talking about rewriting your story. We'll be right back.
Starts to make me wonder where.
The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
We are back. It is Rabbi Jenny with Gregory Goins. We are talking about rewriting your story, and we were talking about Greg. we were analyzing him. We were doing a session with him on his dad and what parts of her story. But what do you think? Let's do a little bit of an epiphany. Let's talk about what we do at Epiphany Resources and portray you as the nonprofit attached to us. Yeah. What would you want? Talk about the film program. Talk about what it takes for our clients to even be clean and sober long enough. It's a real accomplishment to get to be sitting with Greg. So what is the film track? What is that like for?
Well, our clients, the clients go through an interview process. And I think that all of us are natural storytellers, but some of us have a propensity for really digging deeper with our own personal stories. And it started out, what I wanted to do is create something of a personal documentary where people were talking about what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. In a classic sort of 3-act structure sort of way.
Sure.
It's evolved into something else, however. It's become the distance between a character and the actual client has really helped people dig underneath that sort of character, and what it's helped me, because as much as I'm helping people tell their own story, it really helps me as a storyteller. There's always a distance between the writer and the character.
Yeah, sure.
But we know. It's that sort of thing. And so it's been really helpful and enlightening to see people actually, wow, I didn't realize that's what that was about, sort of moment for them, an aha moment, and sort of work towards clarity, like real clarity about who it is that they are on a personal level. And it's those sorts of revelations that we're starting to get to as we're starting to dig down now and introduce them to filmmakers who are actually going to help them create the film. They learn a new vocabulary, they learn about themselves, and it becomes easier for them to explain it to other creatives. It's been a really collaborative sort of
It's really amazing that we're there in a year, because I want to tell the listeners, I want to remind you, if you do have a family member struggling with substance abuse, I want to give you our 1-800 number. This is really important, 1-800-232-0657, and you can go to etcfl.com. So the first step when you get to Epiphany Resources is you're going to get clean and sober. I mean, that's the first thing that they do. But one of the side things that happened when Greg and I were working on the program and designing it, and I just remember Greg popping up, can we put film in there? Yes. Yes, we can. Okay, Jenny, go. That's all you said, and the whole thing. But what's happened is we do these writing groups we started with our men's program, and it was like a side thing that happened, but we have discovered these amazing creative writers, and not everybody is a writer, not everybody's an athlete, not everybody everything, but the idea is that substance abuse is blocked blocked creativity, blocked passion. Somehow, somewhere, you've blocked your divine light, your abilities. So what we do is, like the clinical team, when you're in this first phase of inpatient, we do these creative writing groups, and we kind of flag the clients who have these talented gifts. And Greg then takes them and interviews all of them and sees who will fit, because it's really intensive. The clients, they meet with you, is it once a week?
Once a week, hour a week.
And this is after at least 30 days of inpatient, at least. And then, and they're doing homework, they're watching videos. Is that
watching movies, they're doing homework. It's like a real film study sort of crash course.
We put them in the master's program. No limits, whatever. No pressure. It's crazy. We become like intensive parents. Like, you will achieve, And so, what's the timetable when a client comes and they're first learning how to write a screenplay, correct?
Yeah, we talk about character, we talk about plot, we talk about 3-act structure, we talk about what makes things work. What are your favorite movies? Why? And sort of talk about how to break those down, and then we apply that to their own story. All right, tell me a story.
Right.
Tell me the story, the one that wakes you up in the morning, kind of thing.
Wow.
And they and to our clients' credit, they rush at this, and they've worked extremely hard and dug underneath it to get this sort of just nominal piece of flash fiction, but really solid, really dramatic for a first shot at it.
Well, and I think that it's proof too that if you believe in people, it's so powerful. And I think that the love at Epiphany is it's palpable. Like, you walk in, I've had people walk in the buildings, all of them, like, it's such a shock, because there's no limits. And I think most of the staff that we've put together are people who've actually broken those limits. People like Greg, people like myself, the clinical team, amazing clinicians, best. We don't have a Qigong instructor. We have the national best one. Okay, I'm just saying it. Okay, but people who've pushed the boundaries of their own pain and retold their story.
It's really interesting that you say that on our door of the clinical building. There are a bunch of sayings. The one that jumps out to me every time I stand in front of it is the limits on human achievement are self-imposed.
Right.
And I think that we embody that there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, just totally strike at that. Like, what do you want to do? All right, cool. Here's your support system to go out and do that thing. And whether it's be a chef or go back to school and make a film or something afterwards. What's the after?
Because we need you to.
Right.
Like, we really need people to start standing in their light, and we don't even realize that we're telling a story that maybe we didn't even write. We don't even mean it. Some of it's genetic, some of it's hereditary, some of it's culture, some of it's society, the media, and some of it's just somebody said something once to us in the 3rd grade, and we've just taken it to heart. Yeah. What has been one of your biggest things one of your biggest rewrites, like successes in rewriting in your life?
Going from a non-creative to a creative. I mean, I sat for a long time as a computer database engineer.
That's really weird to me.
Yeah.
I wonder why you did what you did.
It's like really strange sort of financial models.
That's
and
like
all
the lawyer,
and all of that. And I was like, you always try to find something creative in the numbers, You're looking Mandelbrot sort of fractals or something, You're always looking for the creative in it, and it's like, you know what? It's your gig,
right.
My dad, just a quick side note on my dad let me be an acting major at NYU as long as I was as well a business administration major. So I had something to fall back on. But when I got sober, I said, you know what, no safety then. I went back to school as a freshman. I lived in a freshman dorm. I was like, I'm going to do the whole college thing and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because I'd finally sort of taken control of my own life and destiny and said, you know what, this is what I want to do. And everybody else is going to line up around what I want to do for once, instead of me trying to fit into some sort of model.
Yeah, you had that Jacob moment. I call it the moment, it's just you. People call it a bottom in substance abuse, Yeah, it was just you and God, you and you. And that's when you realize how big you are. Like that there's so much on your side. I think that grace, it just kind of comes in a quiet moment. So what are your goals for the future for Epiphany? What are your goals for Greg? What do you see? Where's the biggest rewrite coming next? You don't want me to get started. I'm just gonna Denise, I'm throwing it out. I'm just yeah.
I think that just moving forward, pushing this ball down the field. For Epiphany, I think what I'd love to see Epiphany do is expand our footprint. I think that we need to take the show on the road a bit. There are other cities, other places that I think that we could be of extreme assistance.
Yeah.
In sort of this war on addiction.
Yes.
I think that what our clinical staff has done here has taught me personally, and I think that it's a message that needs to be heard, that the stigma from this disease needs to be stripped off. I have a disease that tells me I don't have a disease.
Right.
That's my problem.
Right.
And once I start to tell that to others in some sort of way, then I think people will be more receptive to it than they even already are. I think that's what this epiphany is, right? This sort of sudden and striking realization, right? Needs to be pushed out a bit.
And so many of our kids have become addicted to being an addict. There's this subculture of these young kids who the lifestyle of it, and I think we shock them into joy. It's like joy. So reminder, thanks, Greg. You'll stick around for the last part, but I want to remind our listeners, Epiphany Resources, if you have somebody suffering with substance abuse, 1-800-232-0657. You can go to etcfl.com, Friends of Epiphany on Facebook, and see what we do. This is Rabbi Jenny. Stay tuned. We're coming up with the Jenny Jam and the Joy Jar.
Fruits of what I do are growing.
The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, it's Rabbi Jenny. Welcome back. It's the Rabbi Jenny Show, and it is time for the Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Joy, 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 joy. It's Adeline Gobergstein, and it's time for the Rabbi Jenny Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Consistency, commitment. Hi, who's on the phone?
Rob Cunningham, and my partner Jenny Otero couldn't be here.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, how are you doing, Rabbi Jenny? How have you been?
I've been good, Rob. Do you have 10 things that make you ridiculously joyful?
I do, yes. Yeah, you ready to hear them?
I am. I'm ready. Hit me.
All right, let's see. So, helping other parents, having a better life for children. That's what our organization does, for the opportunity to grow ourselves in this challenging process, challenging year for us. Enlightening others and educating others. We're both very happy for the well-being and good health of our 7 children. We have 7.
That's a try.
Our newfound purpose in life. We're very happy to share our parenting and our passion for parenting with others. We're happy to leave the negativity in the past. We're also happy for the strength and wisdom to exceed in our daily tests and challenges we've been presented with. And most importantly, I'm very happy for my new partner, Jenny Otero, and she makes me a better man. It's been an amazing year.
Wow. So, Rob, what would you like to promote? What do you and your partner, Jenny, do?
Our new nonprofit, Purpose Driven Parenting.
Oh, I love it. Purpose. Wait, I want to write it. Is it purposedrivenparenting.com?
It is actually Purpose Driven Parenting, and it's a .life.
Oh, that's cool. .life, L-I-F-E?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I like it. I love it. So what is purpose-driven parenting, Rob?
Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's, parents try so hard to be able to be the best parents they possibly can be. You've got the daily rat race trying to focus on career, and whether you're a single parent or you're a couple or married or not married, who takes care of parents in our community? So that's what we're really going for, is a parenting support group, a place face-to-face, no-cost support group, so parents can come and learn new techniques and new, just be able to share with other parents, like-minded parents, and get from point A to point B faster than I did in parenting.
Wow. Rob, you'll maybe come on. You guys, you and Jenny will come on the show?
We would love to. It'd be so much fun.
I would really, really love it. How do people reach you at Purpose Driven Parenting? Is there a phone number?
I can use my personal phone number, but the best way is our email. So it's going to be rob@purposedrivenparenting.life.
Okay.
Or Jenny, Jenny, @purposedrivenparenting.life.
That's a good name she has. She has a good
name. I know. I agree.
Okay, I'm going to shoot you an email, and you guys can come on, because I think the holiday season is a great time for that.
It'd be excellent. We would love it. We'd have so much fun.
Okay, great. All right, Rob, will you have a ridiculously joyful night?
Thank you. We will. You too.
All right, my dear. Thanks for calling.
All right. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Purpose-driven parenting. Okay, that was awesome. Purpose-driven parenting.life. We'll make one more announcement of that at the end of the show. And it's time for, I have to do this in front of my boss. Okay, I'm not okay. The Jenny Jam. Yo, yo, yo!
Jam! Jam! Rabbi Jenny Jam!
Okay, remember, Jacob renames himself Yisrael. So this jam is to light you up to the Yisrael. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Going up. Am Yisrael Chai. Listen up. Bring yourself to harmony. Blend the parts of all you be. Take the patience and the passion. Slow it down, then take some action. Deliver wild originality. Be wise, obey, and you'll be free. Rewrite the story of your journey. Am Yisrael Chai. Ho! Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chai. Sing it out there in Carland. Bring the freak and the geek and the strong and the weak. Bring it all together, the messy and the neat. The liar and the thief brings the fire and the chief. When you bring it all together, there's a force beyond belief. Don't let the past define you. Don't let opinions bind you. Make the choice and tell the tale. Get your voice and shout and wail. Oh! Am Yisrael Chai. I can make him sing it. I could. Am Yisrael Chai. Going up. Am Yisrael Chai. I like that one. I like it because, I love the story of Jacob and Israel, and I really want to ignite you today on the Rabbi Jenny Show. This is the time where I light you up one last time and encourage you from the love in my heart, because I don't always have the right words. A lot of people have said the words better, but the love in my heart allows me to say them sometimes over and over again, and you believe me and you hear me. And I want you to feel that love, and I want you to rewrite the story of your life. I have a couple of people to make a shout out to. I'm going to ask for healing and prayer to a little friend of mine, Ian, in 2nd grade. He is waiting on a liver transplant. He is a friend of my sacred sister Marjorie's granddaughter Eleanor, and he is so Ian, let's all say some prayers for healing for that liver transplant for Ian in 2nd grade. I also want to send a huge amount of love shout out to my friend Stacy Joe, who is the lead therapist on my men's program, because she is a ball of love, and right now she needs it. So we're all going to give her ridiculous amounts of love at this time and send it to her, and because I am so grateful for her in my life. She is just a ball of ridiculous love. So those two things. All right, and I want to remind you one more time that this is the time. I want you to get that journal, that Jenny journal that we talked about in the last 2 shows. You got to have a journal. It's very, very essential. I haven't mentioned it. We were talking about a bunch of other stuff, but I know you have your journal by now because this is like your 1000th Jenny show, right? Okay. All right, so you have your journal, and in your journal, I want you to actually, for homework, I'm giving you homework now. For homework, you're going to write down all the things that you tell yourself about yourself. And then I want you to see how many of those things originated with you. Because I guarantee you, 90% of them, somebody else told you along the way. And you are limiting your abilities. You are limiting the possibilities in your life. And you don't even know that you're doing it. It is just the way this world works. We're collective consciousness. We tell stories all the time. We talk to each other all the time. We give messages all the time. And those messages are not necessarily based on what's right in front of us. They're usually based on what's come behind. And guess what? That's behind you. And it's time to move forward. It's time to rewrite your story. It's time to go towards your destiny. What's the difference between fate and destiny? Fate, others decide. Destiny, you decide. In my sacred path, destiny is everything. Pulling those cords of destiny is everything. If I myself personally didn't listen to the loving women and men who have come in my life who told me that what I thought about myself was too small, I would not be where I was. So I'm telling you, you are bigger and brighter than you could possibly imagine. And you have an idea and you have a thought and you have something that you have to bring to this planet. And like I say, if you don't do that, my world's a little bit darker, and I need it to be bright, okay? I like things bright, big, bold, rainbows, the whole thing, shiny, happy people. I really, really like that. So that's the message today. Take that with you. Keep shining. I want to remind you, if you have someone struggling with substance abuse, you're going to call Epiphany Resources so you can have a personal conversation with me, which would be fabulous for you. And Greg, who was here, the founder, and be a part of our creativity and really find a program that's not like any other, etcfl.com. If you've tried everything to help someone you love and you haven't been able to light them up because they are stuck in the mires of mediocrity and ambiguity, which haunts addiction, we light you up there, okay? And that I promise. I also want to remind you of purpose-driven parenting.life. Thank you for calling Rob Cunningham and Jenny. We're going to have you on the show. We want to thank Manju Kalandindi, the law offices, one of our sponsors. And we also want to remind you that on December 21st, we have our Christmas party For the Children, and our alumni, our patients, our clients that have graduated and are clean and sober are actually doing a toy drive for the Children and for those kids. So I want to remind you, you can go to forthechildrenfirst.org and make a donation to buy Christmas toys this year because we need it. And this is Rabbi Jenny. Shine bright, write your story, get your destiny. I love you. Talk to you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
You have been listening and lighting up your life with Rabbi Jenny. Join us next week for another session of love, light, and joy as Rabbi Jenny takes life to the next level. Are you ready? Rabbi Jenny says the time is now.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Talk health, talk wealth, talk politics, talk 1470 and 95.3 FM, WNN.
Know your body, gain control of your health, transform your life. If your body could talk, what would it tell you? At DexaFit, we show you how to take control of your health and fitness to live a happier, more fulfilling life. Hormones, metabolic health, and cardio fitness all play a significant role in your energy levels, sleep quality, and overall well-being. With our proven methods of measure, track, and discover, we show you how your body composition, cardio fitness, and metabolic health compare to your optimal level. At DexaFit, our goal is to help you identify and understand the health and fitness of how to transform your body to meet your individual goals, break through your plateaus, and take the guesswork out. Improve your energy levels, sleep, and weight. Give us a call at 561-923-8833. We are conveniently located at 2499 Glades Road in Boca Raton. Schedule an appointment online at DexaFit.com. Give us a call, 561-923-8833, and mention this ad for special pricing.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM, W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment and rehabilitation for every part of the body in both children